Sorry.
I'm Jason.
And I'm Jules.
And
we doing
Filmographies.
I gotcha.
What? You did.
I got him. That probably won't make sense to anybody just joining us. Yeah, we'll have to say about this movie, huh?
Yeah, I like this one a lot.
Well, we're doing Unlawful Entry.
Unlawful Entry, 1992. Rated R. 1 hour and 51 minutes. A burglar holds a knife to Karen's throat while her husband does nothing. The couple ends up befriending the cop that comes. The friendship ends when the cop beats up the culprit. Karen isn't ready to end it. Things get ugly with the cop. That's not a wonderful synopsis.
So it's rated R for terror and violence and for sexuality and language, which I guess includes nudity.
She was naked, right?
Surprisingly, she gets nude. So
it's great.
That's interesting. I'll jump right to it. Both her and Kurt Russell refused to use body doubles for the sex scene.
Do they show his butt?
A little bit.
Yeah, I feel like they were showing that humping butt.
A little bit.
Nobody ever shows dong. The first dong I ever saw, I feel like, was Pulp Fiction, where you get like a little half a glimpse of Willis's peener.
Oh, mine is Predator 2.
There's dick in Predator 2?
In the theatrical cut, there's full-on dick.
Really? Who's hanging dong? Not Danny Glover.
No, right in the beginning, there's like a drug guy humping a broad, and he hangs him from the ceiling, and that's when the Danny Glover comes in. What the hell? What's going on here? We're investigating this. They cut that dick out in subsequent releases, but I think if you catch a unrated or director's version, you'll see a little... actually, it's a pretty big dong.
Not a little peener.
It's flaccid. But,
full dong.
So the tagline for this movie, it's a beauty. Desire, passion, lust. It's a deadly game of obsession.
I don't like that.
I don't either. I'm going to jump into some trivia here, just get this out of the way. Ray Liotta was nominated for an MTV Movie Award in 93 for Best Villain. Lost to Jennifer Jason Leigh for Single White Female.
Oh, fuck. That's a good one. I mean, that's basically that and Jackie Brown make me want to do Bridget Fonda.
Mm-hmm. Mel Gibson, Tom Berenger, John Travolta, and Charlie Sheen turned down the role for Officer Pete Davis.
Oh, wow.
They got Ray Liotta.
Dude, I thought you were going to say for Kurt Russell's part.
For Kurt Russell's part, Kevin Costner, Jeff Bridges, and Bill Pullman.
Oh, man. I don't know how much I like Kurt Russell in this.
You know, it's funny because I told you before going into this, like, I like him probably more now, and probably because of Quentin Tarantino.
From what? The Hateful Eight? And
Death Proof, yeah.
Okay.
But also Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh, yeah, he's barely in that, but yeah.
Yeah, and also I think he's pretty good in the Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I didn't like him in this. He was good at what he did. But
he is good. He plays that role well, which I kind of feel like that's probably more likely what Kurt Russell is like.
Probably.
Yeah.
You know, he's married to Goldie Hawn.
Yeah, and I hear he's pretty conservative. Him and John Carpenter, their views clash.
Jesus.
Even though they still have a friendship, but their views clash.
This is one of a cycle of thrillers made during the early 90s, which were set around husband and wife characters.
Pacific Heights in there, too.
Presumed Innocent from 90, Sleeping with the Enemy from 91, A Kiss Before Dying, 91, Deceived, 91, Shattered, 91.
Deceived is Goldie Hawn, right?
I think so.
Shattered's Tom Berenger.
Probably turned this down for that.
Tom Berenger made a lot of huge mistakes in his career.
Being Tom Berenger was one of them.
Snip, snap.
Mortal Thoughts, 91.
That's Julia Roberts and Demi Moore.
Consenting Adults, 92. They grouped Unlawful Entry in here. Guilty as Sin, 93. And Malice, also from 93.
This is a pretty dumb collection. Married couples.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Movies starring a guy.
Dumbass names, too. So, there was a Bollywood remake of this movie called Fareb. The U.S. legal website defines unlawful entry as an illegal entry upon lands or structures without force, but by means of fraud or other willful wrong.
Ray Liotta's the one committing unlawful entry. It's not the robber.
He doesn't have the right to be there.
But he keeps showing up.
But he has access.
Yeah.
But it's unlawful. Pete, in the edited for television version, the amended password is "you lose."
What?
Because he says, like...
Pyramid.
But then he changed it. What's the password?
Oh, fuck you? Is okay.
Yeah, so it's you lose, because it's probably on TV.
You think that's probably why they changed it from "fuck you" to "you lose"? Is because it's on TV.
Probably.
Dude, which one's Fatal Instinct? That's not Fatal Attraction.
No.
There's Basic Instinct. Does Fatal Instinct, is that like Eric Roberts? Who's in that?
Armand Asante and Sean Young.
Kurt Russell is Michael Carr, 2 R's. And Madeline Stowe as Karen Carr.
Remember, she was like a real thing for like 10 years.
She was in 12 Monkeys, Last of the Mohican, 1978's The Amazing Spider-Man TV show.
I feel like 12 Monkeys is definitely what I remember her from the most.
That's peak.
General's Daughter.
Ray Liotta, of course, is Officer Pete Davis. Roger E. Mosley is Officer Roy Cole.
Yeah, from Magnum. He just died this year.
Really?
Yeah.
I couldn't even wait.
For us to talk about.
Yeah. This is an interesting film. They're just a couple in Los Angeles. Doesn't really say what area they live in. I don't know if it's Brentwood or... Seems like a nicer area.
It's definitely a nicer neighborhood.
The house
they're well off. I mean, he says later on that he sunk $100,000 of his own money into that club in, probably 91 when they filmed it.
It's a really dumb club.
Yeah.
Nobody hip would go to that club.
I don't know, man. It's the early 90s.
It's in like an old movie theater.
Yeah, but it's the early 90s.
Yeah.
Isn't that like where they fucking would film fucking En Vogue music videos? That looks like to me,
probably,
man.
Yeah, well, that's
people fucking love it.
They're like, we're not hip. What's hip? En Vogue? Strobe lights and shoulder pads and wide open spaces. Nobody's dancing.
Yeah.
Let's do that. So they're just at home and she keeps carrying around that fucking cat.
Does it open on this? Is this where the movie opens?
Pretty sure.
Is this our introduction to them?
Oh, you know what? It does a weird thing. It's just showing parts of L.A., right? It's playing real seedy music or sexy kind of Red Shoe Diary style music.
Is this right after the riots or before?
90, what is this, 90?
Came out in 92.
92?
Probably filmed in 91.
Right around there.
Yeah.
Right around there, man.
Okay.
It's hard to say because it doesn't paint the LAPD in the best of light, and there is some racial issues.
Yes.
But I don't know. It's weird. This movie's weird, man.
It's weird. It does a lot more than you think it would do. It's a bit deeper than you would think.
Yes.
Ray Liotta's performance is fucking amazing.
It's psychotic, but it isn't like mustache twirling.
No, and the best part is, for about a half an hour of this movie, he is the warmest, most concerned, sweetest man you will ever meet.
She's into him, right?
He is... I think it maybe just might be his warmth, like they want him as a friend.
Okay.
But like, how does that work as a trio, as adults?
Right.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, man, like, I he's pretty much... So basically, they do the whole LA shit, and then it settles on a exterior still shot of the house. And then
we go to her in the house, right?
Well, it's the house, and then they do like a weird thing where they blend in a photo of the house later in the day. So now his car is there, and then they blend another one, so now it's nighttime. Mm-hmm. Kind of feels like just start on the house at night. What are you doing this weird shit for? So yeah, they're in the house, and she's in her 90 or whatever, and...
Well, they just bought the house, too. They're settling into it, right?
I think so. He's doing his business stuff in his huge office. And I thought this was the Brendan, the Walsh house from Beverly Hills 90210. I mean, it's just kind of the style. But I don't think it was. And I didn't find anything to corroborate or even suggest that was the case. So
it's a nice house.
It is.
I looked at it and I was like, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's very Spanish. So effectively they're in the bedroom or whatever and they hear a noise. And he grabs his golf club and he's like...
No. She hears a noise. She goes to look for him. He's talking on the phone. The cat's in there. They're like, oh, I guess nothing's going on.
Okay.
They hear another noise.
Okay.
And then he goes down there and gets that golf club.
And she goes, are you crazy? He's like, if there's trouble, I'll come back for the 9-iron or some shit. I guess a beefier club. I don't speak club.
The big thick ball at the end.
Mm-hmm. Probably a wood. I think he had a iron.
Wouldn't you want an iron one?
Well...
I think metal would be better than wood. Anyways, he does the sweep.
He's going
downstairs.
through like closets and shit.
Yeah, he pokes around in there.
Yeah.
He's looking around. His alarm system's armed.
They don't have that yet.
They don't have that yet?
No.
Okay, so...
He's locking a door. Shit seems okay.
Yeah, everything's fine. All the windows are locked.
Yeah.
Nothing going on. Grabs a beer.
I love this. He puts the golf club down, goes to get a beer. The camera follows him, comes back. Now, there was a split second where I was expecting the golf club to be missing.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? It felt like that's the setup. Mm-hmm. It's not, though. So he drinks his beer and he looks up and he notices that the skylight is open. And he's like, oh, shit. Sets the beer down.
Mm-hmm.
smashes. And at this point, the wife, I think, starts coming downstairs. And then he goes to the stairs like, honey, go upstairs.
Somebody's in here.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, the closet behind him opens up.
Boom.
Guy comes out.
And, like, he's ready to run.
He is.
He just wants to get out of there.
He knocks over Kurt Russell. But as he's making a break for it, Kurt Russell grabs him and trips him. And now there's a scuffle. And the wife is in there for some reason. She grabs the golf club maybe to hit him.
No, I don't think she does.
I don't remember what she does.
But I think she's kind of worthless.
He grabs a knife, the burglar, and he grabs her and he puts the knife through her throat. And Kurt Russell, he's got the golf club. And he's about to get crazy. He's about to get nuts.
Come on, let's get nuts.
He shouldn't.
He should. No, of course not. She's in front of him. I mean,
this is a very human moment where a criminal was just trying to get away.
Yeah.
You busted him. He realizes he's got to get out of there. Mm-hmm. You're bringing all these problems onto yourself.
I wasn't ever under the impression that he had the knife pretty close to her, but I didn't feel like he was going to kill her.
No, he wants to get out of there.
Kurt Douglas, he's like, drop the club, and he eventually does, and he backs out, throws her in the pool, and he runs away.
Yeah.
Kurt Douglas fishes her out. It's a real weird POV shot from his perspective looking at her and hers looking at him, and
it feels so racially charged too.
Oh, absolutely.
Like this
he's like
this dangerous black guy.
He looks like, menacing.
But
to some extent. But
he's like in his 40s. He's an older guy.
Yeah. It's
not like some young crazy kid hopped up on drugs.
Right. They call the police, and Ray Liotta and Officer Roy Cole show up. Hey, folks, what's happening?
We've had a bunch of break-ins in this area lately. We're pretty sure it's the same guy.
You mean on this street?
In this general area, yeah, but we'll get him, don't worry.
Kurt Russell's bleeding?
A little bit on the foot?
From the glass, and immediately Ray Liotta's drawn to Karen. Immediately.
This is interesting because I almost felt like initially he was drawn to both of them, like out of loneliness.
Okay.
There's a whole fucking weird thing going on here, though, because his partner has clearly dealt with Liotta going too far before.
Nice people.
Hey, I know what you're thinking.
Well, what am I thinking, Roy?
Maybe not this far, obviously, because he's alive still.
Yeah,
but
what's the deal? What he's mentally unwell.
Yeah, because there's a brief moment right there where he's being reassuring. He's going above and beyond. Roy is not really, he's just doing his thing. And she goes, you guys want some coffee? Roy's like, yeah, sure. And she's about to go in, and Ray Liotta grabs her.
It's a bit much.
Oh, watch the glass.
No.
Excuse me.
Thanks.
They cut to Kurt, and he's like, oh, maybe you should get a security system. And Kurt's like, I'm going to get a gun. And he's like, don't do that.
It's easy for you to say. You already got one.
And I'm trained to use it.
Well, I've done some shooting.
At targets, not people.
Look, take our advice. Get an alarm, get a dog, but forget about guns. The wrong people always get hurt.
I like that conversation quite a bit.
Yeah, it's
the wrong people get shot. Don't do it.
You got a gun. You don't know what you're doing. Would you have shot that burglar when your wife was there? What if the burglar gets the gun from you? He came in without a weapon. Now he's got a weapon.
The key was just to get that motherfucker out of the house, and you stopped him by tripping him.
Yeah. Doesn't he say, like, take my watch or something?
Just take anything you want, all right? Look here, take my watch.
Yeah.
You want my watch? And the guy's like, I want that fucking shit. I just want to get out of here. And
yeah.
Of course. I mean,
For sure. You'd have to be super drugged up to want to deal with this, or a next level criminal that is there because they're rich.
Right. He climbed in.
This guy's a fucking burglar. He's just looking for a couple of bucks and get out of there.
He climbed in through an open window. He climbed up onto the roof to get in.
Because nobody locks their skylights because they're hard to lock.
And he was probably, it was like 25 feet in the air, man.
Yeah.
And he's probably just looking for something quick to grab.
And the sound she probably heard was him dropping down from the skylight.
Probably. And, he would have grabbed something and just gotten out of there. You may not even have noticed he was there. They're supposed to come in dust for fingerprints.
Which is insane. They would not do that.
God, no.
Even with them being a rich white couple, the chances of them dusting for fingerprints and actually running them is like zero.
Well, and even if they did, and the guy's in the system, which he probably is, so.
He's probably pretty transient, too.
Yeah, I mean, they probably.
You're going to have an address for him?
Yeah.
It's going to be like 5 or 6 places maybe he hangs out.
If even that.
Dude's a criminal.
Yeah.
And they say he's a crackhead later on.
Yeah. So, she's on edge. Kurt Russell's working all the time, and she's like, they didn't come, and the alarm guys didn't come either. And
she's just a boring-ass housewife, right?
Yeah.
She's just there at home with that stupid cat.
I feel like she should be a drunk or something. Because she's doing she's a teacher.
Oh, she is a teacher. Yeah. Okay, I'm
But
sorry. I
she's
didn't mean to come.
always just in a robe and shit.
I'm sorry to come at her hard like that.
It's
I
fair.
thought she was a boring housewife.
It's fair. She feels like she should just be drinking all day in her robe
By
with
the
her dumb
pool.
cat. Right. So they call, he's like, well, just call the cops from the other night and, they'll come. Sure enough, she calls the station, commends them, and is raving about them.
Usually people just call up the bitch.
So Ray Liotta comes over on his day off, and is he paying for the alarm system?
You did all this? Yeah, it's no big deal.
It is a big deal. We really appreciate
No
it.
kidding, it's great.
No. I think he's just coordinating it. Why would he pay for it? They're rich.
It's the least I could do.
No, I mean, she mentions they're having money trouble.
Well, I guess because he sunk $100,000 into
Right.
his club.
They may have had money. She came from money, but she didn't have any. He kind of probably had some success, but it sounds like this club is make or break. And Ray Liotta's like, I'll put the infrared and blah, blah, blah. And
There's going to be contact switches on every point of entrance. The breeze is not going to be able to get into this house without you knowing it.
hooking them the fuck up with their money, I guess.
That's weird. Okay.
So, he helps them set up the security system. And
He's
now,
great. He's so fucking helpful in here. Warm as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is a dude you would want to hang out with. You want this guy on your side.
Yeah, he knows about the safe room he makes for them and shit.
That safe room's dope.
It is dope. But he also knows the code.
Yeah, immediately.
Because, Kurt Russell tells him.
Yeah, we need a seven letter code.
Yeah.
Pyramid.
I'm like, because it's a big fucking diamond.
Yeah.
Oh, pyramid. Okay.
Yeah, you're right.
I guess that makes sense too. DIAMOND. Yeah.
7.
Yeah. And I think Ray Liotta's got like a really cool muscle car.
Oh, yeah.
When he's showing it off.
440 cubes, 500 horses.
Jesus.
He looks cool on his day off from work too.
Yeah,
Is he wearing a leather coat or he just looks
I
good?
think it's like suede.
Okay.
I think. And they're like, why don't you hang out? You want a beer? And he's like, I don't want to cross the line. Cops, you and us. And fuck that.
Dinner, stay for dinner.
Kurt, yeah, he's like, fuck, man, just hang out, and he does, and he's eyeballing Karen, though, he's really about her, and I can't remember when his partner mentions to him, like, it seems playful, like, you're doing this, but also kind of like,
You're not supposed to be doing this, dude.
come on, man, because
Not
at
again.
first it seems like they run these things all the time, but the longer you get to know Roy, it's not the case. But Ray Liotta's like, why don't you come on a ride along and watch us do our thing, And they're going around and he's showing them shit, and they drop off Roy. He's like, I'm going to go take the car back, and Kurt Russell will come with me. He's like, I'm going to run an errand real quick.
Up until this point,
Perfectly
coolest
fine.
dude.
Yeah.
He's great.
He might be eyeballing your wife a little bit, but
Yeah.
because she's fixing to set him up, which had he not been a psychotic dude, that may have been the remedy, right? He gets with Penny, and maybe not even for a long term.
Penny ain't Madeline Stowe, though.
But God, no.
This isn't the woman that Daniel Day-Lewis would kill all the other people to get to and save.
Stay alive, no matter what occurs. I will find you.
God, no.
No.
She's okay, but she's kind of a little flippity gibbet.
You're basic.
So he takes him to the crack house, and he's like, I got the guy. Because Kurt Russell's bragging up and down about, I want to kill the guy.
He
I'm
is
gonna
saying
fuck
that
him
all
up."
the time. Like, if I got my hands on him.
Man talk, but it's hot air. So he's like, well, here, man. I'm not going to stop you.
I fetch this guy out of there.
Yeah.
Let's beat him up.
And he's like, about it.
Do they never say the N-word in this entire movie? I don't think they do.
I don't
It feels
think so.
like it's
It
bouncing
feels like
around.
it's
when
left
when
and
they
right.
drag him out of there, yeah.
Yeah, because he's scared. He's sweating. He's
It's
high.
fucking sad and terrible.
He
It's
even gives him
ugly.
his nightstick. He's like,
Just gave you the okay. You don't even have to touch him.
I wasn't gonna hurt nobody, man.
fucking, this guy's resisting arrest. It happens all the time. And Kurt Russell's just like, no.
He put a knife to Karen's throat. You gonna let him get away with that? Come on, hit the motherfucker!
I can't do this.
I'm a pussy.
Hit him! Hit him! It's just hey, no, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
I'm just talking shit because you got a car and it's making noises. And, makes my dick feel big. And so the guy splits because Ray Liotta's like, what? And Ray Liotta manages to pull off the most miraculous,
It's amazing.
nonchalant, just hucks his nightstick, hits the guy in the back.
Like a superhero, man. The guy's far away, too. He's made it pretty far
Yeah.
before he launches that
Drops
nightstick.
him, too. It's like that nightstick would not drop you.
No, it would hurt.
25 feet away, you have a coat on, hits you in the center of your back. No, if it hits you in like your elbow or your shoulder blade, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
it just hits him in his back. in his
it's
coat.
hard enough to knock him to the ground.
Just knocks him down. And Ray Liotta goes over and starts beating the life out of him.
Like a fucking Greek god sent it. Superman sent the the baton.
It's like the fucking Captain America shield.
I could do this all day.
Yeah.
Just ding, dead on. And he just starts beating this guy mercilessly.
It's horrible.
It is.
And this is when Kurt Russell sours on him completely.
Jesus, that's enough!
This is so fucked up because this is Ray Liotta offering this guy up.
Yeah.
Like, we're friends. This is what I'm going to offer you. You've been saying you really wanted to beat the fuck out of this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about it, be about it.
At first, I thought it was to show him up because he knows he's not going to do it.
Yeah.
To make him feel like a little man.
No, it's like,
No,
I'm a cop. I can do this. Hey,
Yeah.
you want to beat this crackhead up? You keep talking about it.
You know, and it does feel like a lost puppy. He wants both of them.
Like he's had no friends? It's a weird thing.
Yeah, it's hard to say, right? But it's at this very moment where he formulates the idea that Karen isn't safe with this man. She needs a real man, right?
The way he plays this character is so interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's so open.
Mm-hmm.
I really like it a lot.
But it's not, he doesn't do his laugh.
No, and
Right?
he doesn't get scary till now.
Yeah.
He's really playing a very complicated character. He's doing so many different things.
Yeah.
Before this, that it's just fascinating.
And it cuts to Kurt Russell coming home, but boy, that car ride would have been awkward, huh?
Yeah.
Guys in the back seat, they ain't talking.
They take him in still, right?
I assume, yeah, because he's in jail later. Did you notice him?
No.
When Kurt Russell's, well...
Oh, yeah. Way later.
So Kurt comes home and he's just like, this guy just almost killed this guy. I don't want him around. We shouldn't be friends. And she's just like, oh, I don't know.
Pete's the best.
Maybe you misunderstand. Maybe she's got like a comfort because he's able to help facilitate security, you know? And Kurt was also talking about having him come down to the club to talk security, doing some moonlighting. So she's not having it. She's about him. And Kurt Russell's not.
I was there, Karen. I saw it, okay? So I don't care what you think. We're staying away from this guy. You got it?
You don't care what I think.
Well, don't do that.
Okay, fine. From now on, I won't bother thinking.
Knock it
you want
off.
to think? No, you knock it off.
And is it the club opening the next time he sees him?
I don't think that's an opening. Isn't it like a dry run to get investors? What is going on in that scene? I thought it was maybe just a dry run.
Yeah, maybe, right? Invite only or something.
Why would they be talking about security if they don't have it already? I mean, you would have it ready to go.
Because when Ray Liotta shows up unannounced and really crashes Kurt Russell's party, he just shows up like, oh, hey, I'm doing security.
Kurt Russell's a fucking idiot in this whole sequence too, because the thing you would do is play along with him. My God, why would you battle a police officer?
Now, what kind of friend would I be if I didn't do what I could to protect you and Karen from all of it?
God damn it, you listen to me, because I'm telling you. You leave us alone.
Especially one that you know is capable of who knows what.
And the legendarily evil LAPD.
Yep. And he's talking to Madeline Stowe. He's getting real close to her. This is when we first meet Penny. And she's like, oh, this is Penny. This is who I was telling you should date. And he's like, oh, hey, yeah. She's like, come talk to the kids. And he's like, oh, yeah, whatever. I don't know.
I couldn't stand him. I thought he was really obnoxious.
Kurt Russell pulls him aside like, man, you can't be here, right? He's cursing up a storm. And
Really, it was like, keep your voice down. People are looking.
did he say like your sheep or your something is listening?
Pigeon.
The guy he's basically trying to get money from.
Yeah.
He called him your something.
Pigeon.
Real slang. And he says goodbye to the guy and leaves. And they're like, and she comes up like, what's going on? And he's just like, Ray Liotta's not good, you know? So they're going to do a toast for the club. The lawyer, Ray Liotta, or Kurt Russell, Madeline Stowe, the money guy, and his wife. For some reason, they do it in the entryway. They go from the bar to the entryway so Ray Liotta can watch them from outside while he's waiting for his car. Young guy goes to get it, comes back. Cool ride, dude. And he's just ready to punch through that kid's face.
Yeah, it's fucked up. That guy likes your car. You have a good car. You don't want to compliment about your cool car?
Guy's got a ponytail. He knows cool. Right?
It's 1991, 92.
Yeah. Ray Liotta peels out. And now the shit starts happening. I think this is when we go to the school.
Yeah, and he's coming in to talk to them.
Pretty much. Penny's just fawning over him, melting. But it's clear his intentions are Madeline Stowe at this point.
Penny's Much like Billy Crudup and the rest of the cast of Almost Famous, Penny is dog shit compared to Madeline Stowe.
Absolutely.
To Ray Liotta. Question.
Yeah.
Ray Liotta, have we talked about this? Was Ray Liotta pretty hot?
He was, but was his hair lighter than it normally is? I felt like it was like
maybe it's thinning a little bit?
No, like a lighter brown, almost borderline blonde?
No.
Strawberry blonde?
I don't.
When he's in the sun. Maybe that's always how it is, but he's just very rarely in the sun.
What does that have to do with his hotness?
I don't know. It just felt different. Okay. So I'm like, well, maybe that's it.
I'm just wondering, I feel like Ray Liotta's pretty good looking. Yeah. And I feel like you should have seen him as more of a heartthrob in things.
Yeah.
Instead, he's just the psycho for the most part.
I mean, at his height, I think he's far better looking than George Clooney.
Oh.
At his height.
Okay.
George Clooney's always just an all right looking guy.
I mean, I would say he's much better looking than Kurt Russell in this movie.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, he's out of his fucking mind, but...
Yeah. I mean, you know, take it good with the bad.
He'd probably be nice to you.
Yeah. And so, you know, he's good with the kids, and he takes Madeline out for some coffee to a cop bar. And it feels like the signals are flying here. He's complimenting the fuck out of her. He gets a little bit of her and Kurt's backstory, and, you know, he's like, man, you know, boy, if I had you, or, right? Something like that. And so he drops her off. And I don't remember there's a false alarm on the alarm system.
It's the cat. The cat knocks something over.
Yeah, but Ray Liotta's also doing drive-bys. What convinces Kurt Russell to lodge the complaint?
He comes into the house while they're fucking. He's just in their bedroom. It's scary. Right. He's got the gun and the flashlight on them, and they don't notice him right away.
Yeah, so he comes in and on them fucking. And it's weird.
And it seems like he's going to do something bad.
Yeah, he comes in, he's standing in the doorway watching it.
Wildly threatening.
I'm almost thinking, like, is this some sort of a dream that one of them is having? They're not really fucking, and he's not really there, but they're dreaming this, because it seems so weird. Mm-hmm. He flashes his flashlight on them, and she turns around like, what? And he runs away like a little child. And then they go down, what are you fucking doing in my house?
Responding to your alarm, Michael.
Oh, bullshit. You tripped it yourself, didn't you?
And for some reason, his partner's in a yellow raincoat.
It's probably raining.
But Ray Liotta's not in one.
He's crazy.
I guess.
Crazy.
And he's like, fuck that, dude. You need to leave right now.
I'm as embarrassed about this as you are.
And she's starting to see it, I think, but I think there's still a little part of her where she's processing, like...
That's a misunderstanding. He's a nice guy.
Could it be, right?
Pete's the best.
So Kurt Russell goes to make a complaint, and the sergeant's, like, not really having it. But then there's a little moment where it seems like maybe he is. He's like, you don't have any proof. He even says you don't have a videotape, which maybe is a reference to Rodney King. But also it feels like he's sort of telling him, put a camera in there. Which if he did, you know, he'd have some evidence. Then, when he's having him fill out the form to complain, he does a thing where the guy that brings in the form...
The riots happened after the movie was filmed, I think.
Okay.
They happened in 92.
Okay. Yeah. After the guy brings in the form and leaves, and Kurt Russell's filling it out, the sergeant... I think it's a sergeant. I'm just saying that. I don't know. He, like, leans back and looks at the other guy. Gives him, like, a look.
Nah, fucking Liotta's at it again.
You think that's what it is?
I don't know.
I felt like we're going to get this asshole.
Kurt Russell?
Yeah. Because he sees him later, and he gives him a look. Like, Mm-hmm. So, you know, at this point, did he go then to talk to his partner? No, that hasn't happened yet. He goes to meet the lawyer. He's like, this guy's fucking jamming me up. What do I do? And the guy's like, just give him money.
Yeah.
Clearly, it's a cop shakedown or something.
It is not.
So, like an idiot, he agrees to meet Ray Liotta on, like, Mulholland Drive overlooking the canyon.
He offers him a good amount of money, too.
$5,000.
Right? That's pretty good.
I would have just taken it and then continued to be an asshole. Fix up your...
It's cash.
Hemi or whatever.
Ain't no proof.
You supercharged. Yeah. So he's like, here's the money, man. And he's just like, you pussy.
Karen needs to feel protected from when those coyotes come charging out of the brush.
You listen to me. You stay the fuck away from her.
And punches Kurt Russell in his gut.
Hey, yeah.
You know, that could kill a guy. Getting punched in the stomach when you're not ready.
You talking about Houdini?
Yeah.
I could tell.
Boy, I really had that.
I'm sorry.
I did, but it just came to me. Is that true?
Yeah. He
some guy punched him and that's how he died?
Yeah. Isn't that the thing? You could punch him as hard as you wanted, but he would flex. But some guy just walks up to him and hit him in the guts.
And he wasn't ready in public?
Yeah, ruptured his stomach or something.
Mm-hmm. So Kurt Russell doubles over.
What are you going to do? Arrest me?
Ray Liotta takes out his big gun,
Arrest you?
puts it right in his face.
Yeah.
I could kill you. Do you not understand? And then he leaves.
I could kill you, Karen.
I'm sorry.
For a split second, because the cop had mentioned it, that he complained to, I thought, oh, Kurt Russell's got a fucking camcorder in his car.
Yeah.
On his dashboard.
Nice 50-pound, 2 foot long, 1 foot wide.
Yep. He's got a shotgun mic with a dead cat just sticking out the window.
It
And
just looks like a bazooka pointing at you.
some guys in the back lighting it and shit. Right? He doesn't.
No, does he go home? He tells Madeline Stowe. She's like, no, Pete's the best.
And he goes to her at school because she's still at school for some reason. And he's dirty.
Pete's so good with the kids.
He just put a gun in my fucking face, Karen. What the fuck are you doing, Karen? You're talking about a marriage. And she's like, oh my God, honey. He's like, you gaslighting this guy? You putting your pooter out there for him? And oh my God, honey, I didn't
You want to suck on his fingers, Karen?
realize. She hugs him.
Oh.
So they're at the crib and he's working again. And he looks outside the window and he notices like cops pulling up and shit. Calls his lawyer. He's not there. Leaves him a message. I'm being raided or some shit. They come in. They start just fucking knocking down vases.
Well, prior to this, doesn't he? He talks to his partner. He goes and hangs out with the partner and runs it by him.
And even before that, when he gives Ray Liotta the money, right before that, he goes, look, man, I don't know what I did to get us off on the wrong foot. I apologize, whatever it was. I mean, can we just leave as friends amicably? Ray Liotta's not having it.
Well, probably because he disrespected him at the bar, was rude to him about beating up that black guy. Maybe he should have hit him a few times.
Had the nerve of marrying Karen several years before he even met her.
Man, honestly, a lot of the times that I'm watching these shows, I'm just like, move? I think all of your problems would go away if you moved.
Well, Karen even says, I don't feel safe here after the burglary.
Move.
They're already in a house they can't afford.
Yeah.
Yeah, just get the fuck out of there.
Come on, fatso, and just bust the move.
Dude, move 100 miles away. You're good to go.
But it's too late because they find pounds of cocaine in his house.
Is it like almost a pound or something?
Something. It's like bagged up, clearly for distribution.
That's fucked.
He's a nightclub guy.
Yeah.
Put two and two together. So they arrest his ass and they arraign him. And they put him in county.
Too bad he didn't find that cocaine before they got there, man. He could have a real good time. And then, haha, joke's on you, Ray Liotta. I did all the cocaine.
Karen could have flushed it. So, they throw him in county. And it's real dizzying, the effect. Once he's walking in, he sees the guy they beat up.
Yep.
And people are sneering at him, catcalling him.
Isn't this Tango and Cash or Lockup?
Basically.
He's in there, yeah.
Tango and Cash. Yeah. And probably Lockup. I never saw that. Tango and Cash I've seen, though.
I've never seen it.
They use belts to zip line out of jail. Spoiler alert.
Nice.
And he's in jail for some time, county, because he's waiting for his
it is a little while,
court
right?
case, his arraignment. And when he's being arraigned, Karen's there waiting. Hey, baby. Lawyer's like, sit down, Karen. Jesus Christ. Don't look like you want him out, because then they're not going to let him out. But it turns out he copped to some drug charge.
I took an investor out on the town. The guy had a vial of blow in his pocket and he stuck it underneath the seat of the car. Okay, now the lawyer told me the easiest and quickest thing to do is to plead it out, so that wasn't me.
Doesn't matter. You took the deal. It's on the record.
I didn't catch this at all.
OR denied. Own recognizance. You ever hear that?
No. I mean, yeah, but
like
not
he's
the
not
OR shortening.
I didn't either. So I'm like, what is this, an operating room? The guy's like, man, you shouldn't have copped to that plea. It's on the record, man. No, you're fucked. So they set his bail for $250,000. Back to jail. I mean, this takes a real serious dark turn. His life is in jeopardy.
Yeah, it's ruined.
Right? But there's not a moment, and the movie's better for it, but I expected some sort of a confrontation while he's in jail.
Okay.
Right? They show the guy. I'm thinking, maybe.
Oh, that guy?
Maybe he'll come at him. Maybe one of the other guys. He's in a room all by himself, too, a cell. And he's like, hey, guard, let me get the phone, man. And fuck you, white bread. At this point, he knows he needs to get out of fucking jail. Ray Liotta's gunning. Oh, so he went to the partner. And the partner is like, man, just let it blow over or something. And he goes, he put a gun in my fucking face.
He wants my wife.
And the guy goes into his house. And then he opens up the doors. Come on in. And so then when he's jogging with Ray Liotta. He's like, what are you doing, man? The Roy Cole.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing, man? What is this? You can't be going after this guy's wife. You need to chill the fuck out. Take some time off and go talk to somebody, man. You'll get your head right. Otherwise, I'm going upstairs and I'm going to rat you out. And Ray Liotta, you could just, tell this guy's signing his death wish.
Yeah.
And he even does a thing like, okay, buddy. He touches his arm and continues to run away. So later, when they're on a patrol at the taco stand, we see the guy that he had seen earlier and pointed out as being a criminal. He sees him selling dope. Hey! And the cop's like, his partner's like, really, man? You ain't got time for this shit. And he goes after him, jumps into his car. The guy's running, hoofing it, and they're just blasting through homeless people's encampments and Motown barrels and shit, They get the guy. He runs into a building. They
into his apartment.
Mm-hmm. And he starts flushing drugs.
Yeah.
Right? Why go to the place where you have a stash?
Yeah.
To get rid of it. Just don't go there.
I mean, if he could have gotten in that door before they saw him, that might have been a good spot, and then go out the window.
Sure, but if they just find you in the alley, not in possession of drugs, are they going to take you home and look for your drugs? No.
No. You go to jail.
Right.
Or not.
Don't go home, and now you got to get rid of your stash,
I got my lockbox full of red pills.
Mm-hmm. So his partner is reading him his rights and shit, and we see Ray Liotta putting on them leather gloves.
Yeah, man, as soon as you see those gloves. I mean, you knew it was coming.
You did,
once those gloves come on.
And he takes out a ankle piece, which I thought was Kurt Russell's gun.
I think it's just an unregistered
gun, right? But I thought, oh man, he's really laying into Kurt. And he shoots the partner right in the chest. Drops him. And then the guy's like, what are you doing, man? I thought it was great.
That's scary.
What the fuck is going on? What are you doing? And he runs. Ray Liotta takes out his partner's gun and shoots that guy in the back. Kills him. And he tells his partner he shouldn't have threatened me, man.
You're not going upstairs to talk to anyone.
And then he just sits there and watches him die.
Yeah.
It's fucked up, man.
Real psycho.
And it's a real convincing death. Slumps. And he's dead.
Yeah.
And then he's crying. He shot my partner. And then he must have shot him in the back when he was running away, even though he shot him in the sternum and probably pierced his heart. He had enough wherewithal to kill the doper.
Fire went off.
Yep. So Ray Liotta tells his lawyer, or Kurt Russell tells his lawyer, talk to Officer Cole. He'll corroborate. He's dead. I tried to find him. He's dead. And now Kurt Russell knows it's make or break time. So the lawyer puts his house up for collateral and writes a $25,000 personal check to the bail bondsman.
How does this work? The house is worth more than... The house is like probably a $500,000 house.
I don't know. We haven't seen it.
Because 10% of $250,000 bail is $25,000.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
He doesn't just have $25,000 sitting around?
Well, he writes him a $25,000 check.
But why is he putting his house up?
That's what I don't get. Now that you mention it, I'm just thinking, yeah, $250,000. I mean, that makes sense. But yeah, a bond is not that. It's
10% of...
You typically, and then they put the rest up.
And if you leave, if you run away,
they're on the hook.
Keep that $25,000, yeah. Which they used to pay Dog the Bounty Hunter to find you.
Yeah, and really get all racist on you.
Yeah.
Kurt Russell's out of jail.
Yep.
And
his fucking lawyer gets him out of there.
He jumps into the car, pushes him over, and just peels the fuck out of there.
But while this is happening, Karen is at home. She's traumatized. She's upset. Penny is there?
Yeah, so while Kurt Russell's in jail, she's like pilling it up, taking some sleeping pills and shit. She's in a robe.
Things are very she's in a robe once again.
Penny stops by, like, hey, I'm going to take care of you, girl. I'm going to be here until Daddy comes home. And she goes, well, it's going to be a while. I don't care. I'm moving into this motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So she goes down to make, she's like, you want some food? Oh, girl, that'd be fabulous. So she goes down to make food. Madeline Stowe passes out again, wakes up several hours later. Oh, before that, Ray Liotta stops by, knocks on the door. He's just there. Penny's like, whoa, what the hell are you doing here, Ray Liotta? I'm assuming Karen's filled her in.
Yeah, it's definitely. Otherwise, she would have let him in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But she's like very trepidatious and no, I can't let you in. And
this is a great scene, dude.
I got groceries though.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah, I got
sets them down.
I'm making sauce. I'll just leave it out here. You can come get it whenever you want. And so she's like,
and
okay.
then he leaves.
Yeah, and she turns around to go back into the kitchen, and she goes, I better get those groceries.
It's, she waits just a tiny bit.
A split second. Like she's going to go in to make the food and then must realize that there's no food in the house.
Ray Liotta's gone and there's a big bag of groceries out there.
And they do that thing that I hate where the groceries are popping out of the top of the bag and one of them's a fucking French loaf of bread.
Yeah.
Like who's, and it's not covered. It's like the bag doesn't cover the whole loaf.
Fresh bread, bro.
It's just poking
the bag
out of
never
there.
covers. I think it's usually poking out.
Nowadays, if you go to a grocery, it's all wrapped.
Yeah.
A paper bag, but then it's got the cellophane see-through window. They've been doing that for years. You just don't go to the grocery store.
She goes to get the bag of groceries. A hand grabs her. It's fucking scary. And you're like, well, I hope she's all right. That's probably not that bad. Maybe he puts her somewhere.
Maybe he ties her up.
Yeah.
She's at the dinner table tied up or some shit, right?
We'll find out.
So Madeline Stowe wakes up and she comes down. Penny? She sees the pot boiling and Ray Liotta's in there.
Chopping parsley. And
hey, I'm making sauce. I think it's what he's doing.
Sunday sauce.
Sauce. My brother's going to stir it.
I learned a really good move for cutting garlic with a razor blade.
Kevin Corrigan. Yeah, right. And she's like, what are you doing here, bro? And, it's fine now.
Kurt Russell's
Michael's
gone.
in jail. We can finally be together.
Yeah, he's all the cards on the table, man.
You gotta lock that down.
Like, he just assumes he freed her, and she's just going to melt into his, tree trunk arms.
Yep.
And comb through his sandy beach chest hair.
He doesn't have tree trunk arms.
And so she's like, where's the cat? Oh, where's the cat? I'm always carrying him and I'm not holding him now. I'm going to go find the cat. He's outside. I don't want him to be outside. So she goes, she's slowly, beep, beep, boop, boop, doing the thing, unlocks the door, and she's almost free. And the cat's in the closet right by the door.
Yep.
Hey, I'm Meow. I'm Cat. I would have just left.
Yeah.
You're there.
Fuck that cat.
Is he going to kill the cat?
No.
Right?
I mean, maybe.
Just run the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
The door's open.
Zig and zag.
So she picks up the cat. Ray Liotta, Karen, what are you doing out here, honey? Oh, you got the cat. But before that, when she picks up the cat, she looks up in the closet.
The arm drops.
Yeah.
It's Penny.
Penny's dead. She got a plastic bag on her face.
Yeah.
Saran wrap or some shit.
Jesus Christ. He fucking killed her with plastic over her face.
Suffocated that poor lady.
That's crazy. You know how long that would take? Fucking Ray Liotta just sat there and killed her over like 5 minutes.
Not only that, Penny, she seemed slightly taller than Madeline Stowe by a little bit, a couple inches. She's not a big lady, but she probably weighs, I don't know, 130 pounds?
Sure.
She's dead now.
She's on the top shelf in the closet.
Yeah, you get a stepladder out.
You fucking murdered her and lifted her up and stuffed her up there?
That's where you put her? Just throw her in the garage or some shit.
Pool anywhere, really.
Right. I mean,
Obviously, you have no concerns about anything. You're full crazy now.
Yeah.
You can fucking chop her head off and throw it in
Put
the
her
street.
in the sauce. Who gives a fuck? So he comes up like, oh, okay. Well, you got the cat. Beep, boop, boop, boop. Lock the door and shit. You all right? Mm-hmm. She's really good in this scene. She goes, mm-hmm. You sure you're okay? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Nothing's bothering me.
Very Madeline Stowe.
We also would have accepted.
Madeline, stoic.
Because she notices while he's cooking that, like, the romantic place settings are out. And he goes, wow, you're really tense.
When does he grab her vagina?
Just about now.
Okay.
No, upstairs. So he puts her on the other table. Not the kitchen table, but the dining room table.
We need multiple tables.
And he starts rubbing on her back.
Oh,
and
yeah. It's a bare naked back.
Crying. At first, it's shirt.
Yeah.
And then for some reason, her buttons are in the back. How did she get that shirt on?
Well, that's a really good question.
You know?
Yeah.
Put it on with
her
no
husband's
sleeves.
in jail.
And then turn it around and then put your arms
fuck.
to the sleeve holes. Penny didn't help her.
No.
So he's massaging her. He opens up her shirt and she goes, no, I don't. I'm not clean down there.
This is the second time we heard this.
No,
Charlotte
she goes, I want to
too?
look better for you.
Okay, you're making a joke.
I'm making a joke. I want to look better for you, she says.
Really, you had me, man. I really thought they said it again in this one.
Wouldn't that be dynamite?
What's wrong with these ladies? They always gotta like rinse it out before you go anywhere near it.
They're just leaving it fucking drenched and stanched. And
I got some food in there. I don't know. There's some dirt and rocks.
I'm not braided.
I thought those things were self-cleaning. What's going on down there?
And so she's like, let me go upstairs and get sexy. And he follows her upstairs. He's watching her change, I guess. She puts on, like, not sexy clothes. It's like shin length dress that's not a skirt that's not flattering.
I can't remember.
And like just a white puffy blouse. It's like, put on a fucking black dress, girl. You know? She's rifling through the luggage for a gun. That's where Kurt Russell keeps his gun before she changes. And Ray Liotta comes up with the gun. Like, you looking for this? Because apparently when she was passed out, he snuck in and...
Well, I mean, I think he's in and out of this house all the time, dude.
Yeah. I wish we would have seen more of that.
I mean, he hid the cocaine.
Yeah, he did hide the coke, right?
Yeah, I don't know if you can really see the bad guy's point of view in this movie particularly.
Well, just like she's in the house and he's in the closet, but like they don't draw attention to it.
Like the Pink Panther creeping
stranger
stuff.
Calls. Yeah. And she goes, oh, good. I was going to ask you to get rid of it. I don't feel safe with the gun. And he's like, I don't know, but I'm also crazy.
I really want this to work.
Let's see where this goes. So he stuffs it into the back of his pants in a belt. And she changes and he goes over and he starts touching her face and kissing on her. And she's kissing him and she's rubbing his back and she goes for the gun and he pulls her. What are you doing? Oh, I just want to kiss you. Okay. Boom, she pulls out the gun and draws it on him. Get the fuck out! Ray Liotta, and he's like, baby.
What are you doing?
You're a sick, fucking brutal asshole. Get out!
And he starts approaching her, yeah.
You're not gonna shoot me.
I swear I'll kill you.
She fucking pulls that trigger. And he's shocked. She does it again. No bullet.
Fucking stupid, Hans.
You think I give you a loaded gun?
You're saying?
And so he throws her on the bed. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to take this. And at this point, during all of this, Kurt Russell's driving home. He flies by a CHIP officer who's talking to some lady, and he just peels out. And she's like, hey, what? And the CHIP officer is following him. And he makes a mad turn. And when the cop pulls up, the lawyer gets out of the car like, I'm a lawyer, please don't shoot me. And Kurt Russell's running down the street.
Booking it.
Yeah, he is, with his like cashmere sweater on.
Yeah.
You know, no socks on his penny loafers. And he bursts in. And this is where Ray Liotta, he goes, spread your legs. And he does that. She does that. He forces it open. And yeah, he just
grabs it.
And it doesn't look like she's wearing any underwear.
Oh, I thought she was wearing black panties.
Maybe. But boy, that's a...
It's a real Trump thing. Grab her right by the pussy.
Well, and that's a real... Can you imagine making that call as Madeline Stowe?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I want this to look real. I want you to really grab my pussy. I don't know about that. No.
If you're a dedicated craftsman.
I guess.
I mean, I would, if I was in the movies, you grab my dick.
Here's the question.
I don't know if I'd react properly. I'd probably be like giggly and weird. And
Here's the question, though.
Jumping up in my body.
After they filmed that scene, do you think...
He pulled a little Billy Crudup and smelled his hand?
Well, I was going to ask, do you think Billy Crudup's character from World Traveler showed up, grabbed his hand, and smelled it?
Yeah, for sure.
Ray Liotta's just like, who the fuck?
This is part of his world traveling. Back in time and in California.
Yeah.
And then he's gone. He's immediately gone.
Kurt Russell bursts in at this point.
No.
And they're just fighting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he pulls out a gun, and he knocks the gun out of his hand, and I think he punches Madeline, or almost does, and Kurt Russell jumps on him again. And
Kurt Russell gets handcuffed to like
he handcuffs Madeline Stowe to the towel rack.
Oh, yeah, and then Kurt Russell kicks it loose.
He pulls the towel rack off the wall and uses that to shimmy.
Pry it loose.
Now, I'm thinking... Oh, they're just going to grab a phone.
This is very similar to Something Wild.
And lock the door.
Battle at the end.
Because they're in their safe room.
Yeah.
Just lock yourselves in there. But he goes, I'm going to go fight Ray Liotta. Lock the door. No. He goes, I'm going to get you out of here. And he drags her out of there. But that's when Ray Liotta springs on him. And they're fighting. And, I mean, they're going through, like, tables, glass, shit, all everywhere. Every which way, right? And eventually, Ray Liotta falls down the stairs. And cracks his melon.
And boy, the blood just starts pouring out of his head.
Yeah, and he's just laying there.
Oh, man, I guess Ray Liotta's dead.
And they pick up the gun, and he touches him with the gun, and nothing. And so, this is stupid. He's right in front of the door. Sure. But there's plenty of room behind his body. She has to tiptoe over his arm by his face. Mm-hmm. He does it, too. And she goes to sit down on the stoop, and Kurt Russell just hangs out in the doorway.
Yeah.
Like,
let me
crazy,
have my back
huh?
to the danger, yes.
And she looks back and Ray Liotta pops up.
What are you gonna do, tough guy? You gotta make a citizen's arrest.
And Kurt Russell just unloads on him. The full clip. And he doesn't seem too disturbed.
Kurt Russell?
Mm-hmm. He seems kind of proud of himself.
He's finally manning up after failing with that burglar.
Well, and Madeline kind of looks at him like, yeah, he is a man.
You're the alpha male. You're the man now, dog.
Yeah. They probably fuck good after that. So then, like, the SWAT pulls up and they rush into the house. And it's weird because then the camera just sits there and holds for like a good couple of minutes while the police are talking to him and they go inside and nobody's on the lawn anymore. And
the SWAT team is there because the alarm went off and Ray Liotta's like, pyramid.
Of course.
And Kurt Russell's like,
I'm Michael Carr.
It's fuck you.
Yeah, he goes,
Yeah, password's pyramid.
What do you mean that's not right? And he puts the phone down. What's the password? Kurt Russell. Figure it out. 7 letters. Fuck you.
I would like to point out that the amount of head trauma that Ray Liotta is suffering from after falling down those stairs and hitting his head on the ground, the amount of blood pouring out of his head tells me that his skull has been cracked open. Mm-hmm. And that is not at all what his character is like when he's coming after Kurt Russell. It's me, Ray Liotta.
I'm back. You know, he just shoots him, man.
This movie's pretty good.
It is.
It's wicked racist. Every black person in the movie is super evil.
Mm-hmm.
They have like a
except for the
ominous,
cop.
scary. Oh yeah, he's good.
You know, he's muscular too.
But like, what do you think about this movie? What do you?
I don't know, man. Like, I did check at one point to see how much was left.
It's a bit long.
I think it went in directions I wasn't expecting.
No, it's
I was not expecting him to get arrested. It's relatively believable. The character's actions are, for the most part, relatively believable. Yeah, man, I really dig it.
I feel like Liotta made the movie 100%. Like,
yeah.
Without him, I don't really give a shit about this movie.
The isolated Kurt Russell moments, especially when he's just doing his business stuff.
Sure, but I mean, I wouldn't say it's a boring movie. I feel like it's cruising along.
It's a solid thriller.
Yeah, it's not. There's not fluff. We're not beefing the movie up at all to just stretch it out.
And even when he shoots Ray Liotta, it isn't like, fuck yeah.
Man, and I like that Ray Liotta's not crazy right off the bat. He's just, boy, you spend at least a half hour being like, that's a good dude. That's a really good dude.
Well, and even when he's full on Meryl Streep. No, who's in Glenn Close?
Fatal Attraction?
Yeah. It's sincere. He's delusional, but he's buying into the delusion. And he doesn't mean her any malice. It eventually gets there.
Yeah.
You know, but he really believes it, that he's doing the right thing and kills his partner.
He's a legit crazy person.
They've been together for like a decade, he said.
Yeah.
You know, he's balls to the wall, man, but he's so good in it.
He is so good. It's great that he didn't just be like, all right, I'm a nice guy and I'm crazy now. It's like, no, man, there's weird layers to this character he's done. He's sinking his teeth into this guy. It's amazing.
You can tell he's thinking in a lot of his scenes. He's processing, he's observing and rationalizing. And it works.
Yeah.
I could see a Richard Gere in the Kurt Russell role.
Sure. That would probably be better. I'm not a big Kurt Russell fan.
It would have maybe been a better match for Madeline Stowe. Them together, they kind of feel like...
I feel like Richard Gere might be a little more sympathetic. I feel like Kurt Russell is not sympathetic in this movie at all.
I think what works for Kurt Russell is his past machismo. In those moments where he's talking big talk, that kind of, you know... You're
getting a pinch of snake there?
A little bit.
The thing.
But then you buy his sensible sort of, I don't want to beat this guy up. You got him. Let's take him in, you know? That machismo's there, but he is just sort of an everyday kind of husband.
He does seem like very much an everyday guy who talks a lot of shit, and then when it comes down to it, nope.
Mm-hmm. Ratings?
Man.
The movie?
I would give the movie 7. I think the movie's a solid 7. I feel like it's a good, compelling movie. It's a good 90s movie.
I'd give it a 7 as well.
Yeah.
It's a competent adult thriller. with some pretty solid performances.
What are you going to give my buddy Ray?
I normally don't go there, but I'm going to give him a 10.
Wow. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to bounce around between 8 and 9 because I really found this to be a pretty amazing performance.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll just give him a 9 since you gave him a 10.
I was going to go 9, but I'm thinking, does it get better than this?
Go ahead and give us a call at 763-634-1897. 763-634-1897. It's fucking midnight.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and email us at wedoingfilmographies@gmail.com. Find us on Instagram at wedoingfilmographies.
Yeah.
Twitter, Facebook. It's so fucking late. There's a Reddit if you want to go there.
You're not going to believe this.
How long did we talk?
An hour and 57 minutes.
So we did like 2-hour fucking things.
This is going to be probably about an hour and 48-minute cut. This one's going to kill one of us.
Yeah.
Me, I guess.
All right, everybody. We'll see you next week with No Escape.
Yeah, this is going to be a rough night.
Later. We Doing Filmographies is a part of the Now Playing Network. Visit nowplayingnetwork.net to listen to podcasts such as Movie Madness, Chicago film critic Eric Childress's movie review podcast. You want to hear some reviews on some more recent movies? Eric Childress has got you covered. Visit nowplayingnetwork.net